Listen, last call. Drink him if you got him.
Let's go back to your place and you can take advantage of my poor judgment.
I depend on your poor judgment.
1998 New York City is such a vibe in this movie. It like courses through it. It helps bring some of that chaotic energy. You guys all shot on location in New York City. So I'm curious, what was something that the city gave you that you were then able to bring to the performance of your character? Zoe, I'll start with you.
Being in New York just has, such energy, and shooting outside, and especially when we would shoot on a weekend outside, it was just like magnetic, when a night shoot, we're out there 3, 4 in the morning. So it's like, you kind of see people like going to dinner, and then like a couple hours go by and they're going out, and then they're coming home from going out. And it like gave us a lot of entertainment.
Yeah, primarily right before the sun comes up.
Oh yeah,
that group,
messy.
Yeah, that was really fun. For me, I mean, it's the same thing. And across the board, I look at all the different pockets of the city that we got to film in. So everything from the East Village at night, and there's some scenes where I'm drunk on the street, and then we have a bunch of other people who are actually drunk on the street. So that kind of fed the whole chaos inside. And then Coney Island, being out there, and we also, our first time hanging out was in Coney Island.
Yeah, Darren took us to Coney Island.
Darren took us out there.
So then, it was fun.
So that kind of instilled a love for it out there. And then, filming on the beach out there. I mean, everything, Flushing Meadows, it was just amazing.
Yeah.
You get your ass kicked in this film a little bit. I admire the performance.
Thank you.
But I'm curious, what is more challenging, kicking ass or getting your ass kicked?
You end up with more bruises getting your ass kicked.
You feel like take the hits and fall and stuff.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll do it once and you'll go, that didn't feel real. And then you go, all right, let's take off some padding. And then you do it again, and then you're like, okay, I really got to throw myself down. And you end up getting to a point to where it's going to be on camera forever. You want it to be as real as possible.
Committed.
Yeah, so but I did that as a kid when I was playing pretend.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like a little bit of the masochist inside. Is it? Yeah.
No, but it was admirable. I thought you did a good job.
Thank you.
Zoe, I love that you play a paramedic, because I feel like it's a paramedic's job to stay calm amidst chaos.
Yeah.
And there's so much chaos in this film, but your character is that calm. I mean, what was the trick to sort of maintaining that calmness in her?
I mean, I think Yvonne is a very straightforward person, and I think it's interesting, like someone who wants to be a paramedic, someone that wants to take care of people in these moments of chaos, especially in New York City, Yeah, there's just like this softness to her, but also this straightforwardness to get things done that comes from a loving place. Yeah, it was kind of infused into the character.
I geeked out on the filmmaking in this film. I thought the photography was brilliant. It was pretty awesome. You've both worked with some amazing directors in your career. Zoe, you are a filmmaker yourself. Shout out Blink Twice if you haven't watched it yet.
Thank you.
But and Zoe, I'll start with you. Was there a moment on this set that you really geeked out about the filmmaking, the craft that was happening? It is an Aronofsky set.
I mean, the whole time, Matty Libertique is one of my favorite DPs. I'm a huge fan of his. And so, knowing I was going to get to be on set with him was really exciting. And so just watching the way him and Darren work together, it's like so seamless. They've worked together for so long. There's this shorthand. And I think as a first-time filmmaker, watching people who have done it for so long and seeing how calm it can be eventually, was really wonderful to see and really inspiring. And then also just to be photographed by, a genius is great.
This is awesome. Yeah, I mean, Darren and Matthew have been working since they were kids together, which you don't ever get that experience so much. For you too, Austin, what did the Darren Aronofsky experience bring you on this set that maybe you hadn't experienced as an actor yet?
I've been thinking about Darren a lot and how we just did this lie detector test. I feel like Darren is that. He's a truth teller.
Yeah.
And he doesn't sugarcoat anything. It's how he texts as well.
It's how he lives.
It's how he lives. It's just straight to the point.
Yeah.
And it can do something inside of you. It carbonates you a little bit when somebody just calls you on whatever it is that they see as something that's untruthful. I grew to really appreciate that.
It makes you feel safe, right?
It makes you, yeah, exactly. And then to also just trust him with the tone of the entire film and go to work knowing that he was going to call me out if I ever was untruthful.
The cast that surrounds you, I could go through everybody. They're all amazing. I know you became friends with Benito, aka Bad Bunny, on the set. What was something that he gave you as a scene partner that you were excited about?
Man, I was really impressed by how open he was to ideas. Like there's the moment when I wake up and I'm hungover and I'm in my underwear and they pick me up and they throw me into this chair, and then Darren had this idea of him like grabbing my legs and opening my legs, and it's so vulnerable and uncomfortable, and he sticks a gun between them. And I kind of thought, I don't know if he's gonna be, you never know how open somebody's gonna be, and he was game immediately. And when Darren had the idea of like dyeing his beard red, and he was game. And I love that, I really respect that. And he came and he worked hard, and it was great.
If you were able to transport yourselves as you right now to 1998 New York City, what would be the first thing that you would do?
Ooh, I would go to like a Kim's video.
I was gonna say Kim's video. You stole my answer.
Yeah. It's either that or I would go dancing. I would go dancing.
No phones.
I'd go dancing.
Oh, we could actually dance.
Yeah. And go to that Kim's video and rent an actual.
Rent a movie.
Yeah. Oh.
We'd rent a VHS.
Yeah.
Is there a movie that you would pair with this one?
After Hours, Blowout, The Big Lebowski.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
The Conversation, Enemy of the State.
Enemy of the State is really good, actually. Yeah. As far as 90s. That's
just like
90s,
movies
right?
where someone has something they don't know they have, and like, you know.
That's your mom.
That's my mama.
Yeah. I don't know those guys.
These guys right here, they're scary monsters. Whatever you're doing with them, you should tell me about it before they decide you look better with your eyes cut out.
What was something that the city gave you that you were then able to bring to your performances of the characters?
New York is just a character in itself. And Darren is no two people more than Darren and Spike Lee just embraces New York in their films because their love for the city runs so deep. So just that energy alone was kind of, we rode on that, what is it, like through osmosis, that is, I think for me, what drove my desire to want to be as true as possible to the pulse of this city. But, New York has a smell of its own, and it changes from block to block. And so to not react, that made me feel like a real New Yorker. Because if the cameras weren't rolling, I'm always like, what's that?
Smell of I'm from Staten Island, and I always get that. I'm like, it's just the smell of my childhood. Well, what about for you?
Like Regina says, I think in the sort of fabric and the DNA of both Darren and the film, and he was so he wanted to show me it, you know what I mean? Like, this is here and this is, and he was talked very clearly about periods and times and stuff. But I don't think there's any city in the world I prefer to put music on and just walk through. And what was interesting about it was because I had this mad haircut, there's a lot of cities where you'd really stand out in a way, but New York's just like, whatever, man, you're cool, come on. And I've always wanted to make a film here like this, and I'd run back and do it again in a heartbeat. I loved it. I love this city.
Regina, what's the trick to playing a character where the audience doesn't know if they can trust her?
Part of the reason why Darren cast me is because I think just anyone that's followed me as a person probably feels like they can trust me. I would say that I'm a trustworthy person. And I think that that's part of the key to put someone who's typically known as trustworthy in a space that maybe she is, maybe she isn't, is good on Darren's part. But then for me as an actor, it was just fascinating to play that line, I think I employed some of the things that I learned from detectives and officers in LA when I was in Southland. And one of those things that detectives always told me is that it's so much psychology involved in cracking the case, so you're always kind of trying to get into a person's head to crack the case. And so I really remembered that and tried to walk that line. I
kind of want an oral history on the Mohawk. How many different Mohawks did you all try? What was the version where you're like, this is it, this is the one?
There was a lot, man. Like, I wanted to, and props to John, actually, he was the head of hair and makeup. He had such a clear vision of it, and he wanted it to be the color that it was. And I was really, I think I was afraid because I had long brown hair when I came in, and Darren's like, he took me some days, he's like, dude, it's coming off, man. And we did it kind of incrementally. First, it was going to be blonde. Then I wanted it to be pink. And John, to his credit, was like, look, it's got to be this sort of lime green, yellow, because that is the essence of the punk color. So there was a lot of incremations of it, so to speak. And it was a real collaborative process. And I have to say, it was really led by John and his courage to push me over the edge with it.
I love being a bystander, watching you go through
man. Because remember, I'd be like, what the f***, man? Okay, I'll do it.
Do either of you have like a fun cat story? That cat is a scene stealer.
I mean, it wasn't me. Like weirdly, because it's my cat, I never had to pick the cat up, nothing. It was all Regina, really. But the thing is, right, Regina's got a cat, a gun, there's a car going past, there's people running off.
And I don't like cats. I love animals, and you definitely want everyone to care for the cat. But I had to spend a lot of time with an animal that I don't like the way they smell. Yeah. I don't like any part. And the cat was one hero cat. And then there were like 3 or 4 other cats that did certain things better than others. And so the hero cat had to be the biggest cat.
Yeah, baby. She was like a wolf.
Oh my God. Exactly. He was so heavy.
You'd never know though.
We survived.
You just. And also, it was the cat that was in a bit of trivia for you, Pet Sematary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this guy's got it down, man.
The extensive filmography for this cat knows what it's doing.
Yeah.
Resume goes way
Proper
back.
film cat.
If the two of you, as yourselves right now, could transport back to 1998 New York City, what would be the first thing that you would do?
I'd go to the tunnel.
The tunnel.
Yeah.
The tunnel was the club.
Oh, really?
But it was the club where you could wear sneakers, I feel, right? Exactly. That was a big deal about it.
Wear sneakers, dance your ass off. So I lived here in 93, 92. If it was still existing in 98, that I don't know.
It may have been.
It may have been, it may not, but we're going to say that it is.
Yes.
And that's where I would want to be.
But that was it. That was my club of choice too. That was the hip hop club. Yeah, that was a great club.
Where was it?
Was it like Midtown kind of?
Yeah.
Like I can see myself in the tunnel.
Yes.
I can't tell you where, because
you never know how
I thought you were just going to like the tunnel to New Jersey or something to check it out. Okay, it's still there.
What about you, Ben?
Do you know what? I'd probably seek out one of my favorite bands and see when and where they were. Like if Oasis were in New York in and around that time, and I'd go and make sure I was seeing them come up and come through. I wish I was here in the 90s. It's like being in London in the 90s was mega.
Yeah.
I was young, but living there now, all my friends, older friends that had
and
it were
music
like,
performances in New York are just...
Yeah. If you catch
a performance in New York...
I saw LCD here, Do you know what? I mean, were they playing in New York in the late 90s, LCD? If they were, I'd go and see them. Yeah. I mean, James Murphy, he must have been. Yeah, I'd go and check him out. Welcome to Narnia. Supposed to do the big split day I left.
How much is there?
Wee bit over 4 million.
One thing I admire about your work is that your new film is nothing like your last film, which is nothing like your next film. So what was the challenge that Caught Stealing brought you where you thought, I've never done this before.
Yeah.
Let's get at it.
It really started with what would happen just to make a real strict genre film and just have fun doing it. Like to take the master filmmakers that work with me, let's focus on just making it pure entertainment and see what happens. That was kind of the challenge in front of us, and it was fun to do.
1998, New York City is a big year for you, sir.
Definitely.
This year Pie comes out, changes your life forever. Yeah. Was there anything from your personal experience of that year that you were able to infuse or inject?
I mean, throughout this movie, there's a lot of Pie stickers and hidden in the landscape because that's what we were doing. This takes place late September 98 because it's the pennant race. The Pie had come out June of 98. So we were tagging the city up and just running around trying to sell Pie. It might have still been playing at the Angelica. I have lots of vivid memories because I was living a good life back then and excited, and that energy that was going on was so much fun to revisit.
Yeah, it was cool. And I imagine that year was just a fun year.
Yeah,
for you to kind of sink into in this.
Yeah, film. I don't remember what. I should probably look back and see if I have any journals of what I was actually doing on those dates. It was very vivid. There was a lot of hope. If you remember, it was I joke often that the 90s in New York was peak humanity because in 98, our biggest fear was Y2K. The music scene was amazing. Electronic music was just brewing. Grunge had already peaked, but was still around. Hip hop was Biggie, and there was so much stuff going on. And it was just hip hop was taking over the world. So it was a good time to be alive.
There was a lot to draw off of.
Yeah.
I love the Flushing Meadows sequence in this. And I feel like if you're a born and raised New Yorker, as an aspiring filmmaker, your whole career, you're like, one day I'm going to fly a camera through the sphere at the World's Fair. So I want to know that was a shot that you've been thinking about for a long time, but like also talk about that sequence.
Well, you know, I think back the Beastie Boys in front of that sculpture. It's such an important sculpture. It's not in the book. We were looking to like control a big chase scene. And of course, not being on the streets of New York, but being in a park would be easier. And luckily, New York City parks totally worked with us. So I was like, you guys are going to let us race around the fountain and crash into it and then have a big, collision? And they're like, yeah, it was cool. And so I don't know if we fully had the permit to fly. We had a permit to fly a drone around, which is like a big deal because we're near LaGuardia. But then, I was like talking to the drone pilot. I was like, what do you think? You think you could zap through that? And he was like, yeah. And it wasn't a windy day. And we did that shot. And it was like, damn, I wish I had an IMAX camera shooting that one.
That was one of the coolest shots,
Thank
I
you,
think,
brother.
in the film. Talk about your cast. I love the surrounding cast of characters that you have. Benito, aka Bad Bunny. What did you see in him that you thought, yeah, I want to slide him into this role?
That character was in the book. The character name was Red. It was a hard character to bring life into and to figure it out and to make it distinct. Like Charlie had written a lot of really good characters, but by 2025, a lot of those characters had been seen. So I kept trying to be like, how do we reinvent that? What do we think? Then Mary Vernew, my casting director, was like, oh, Benito's interested in acting and he likes your movies. And would you talk to him? And super nice guy, really down to earth, really prepared, really great. And then Puerto Rican culture is such a big part to New York, especially in the 90s. Me growing up in Brooklyn, even before that, so many of my friends were Puerto Rican. All my Spanish teachers were Puerto Rican. Such a big part of the culture. And so he was able to he actually did a lot of research and developed the character a lot for us, even named the character. So it was a great collaboration.
What's the key to finding the perfect cat?
Well, there is no key. It's like any casting. You do a lot of work and you meet a lot of candidates.
Yeah.
In this case, they were cats. But Tonic was above and beyond on how that creature was trained. The intelligence of that creature and the discipline of that creature was just remarkable. I can't get an actor to sit on a mark for an hour. That cat, boom, just sits there and just chills out and is totally happy. And when the cat was done, the trainer was so humane. So she completely felt any discomfort. And it just showed me when you could get into a balance like that and create a safe environment, it could be a beautiful collaboration.
Yeah, and the audience is just super invested.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a couple questions. Black Swan's returning for its 15th anniversary,
Yeah,
first
that's
time
right.
ever in IMAX.
Yeah.
What are you excited for the IMAX experience to bring to the experience of Black Swan on the big screen?
Beyond that, I just want new audiences to see it projected, which is wild. It's 15 years, so there's a lot of people that never saw it theatrically and may have never seen it. So the fact that it's coming out and people can see it on a big screen, the visuals supposedly look great. I haven't seen it, but my team has. And the sound is incredible. So I think it'll be a great, great showing.
Last question fast about Black Swan. Was there anything you did for the first time on that film that now you do it religiously for every one of your films?
I don't know. Every time I do a movie, I try to shift it up. I don't really try to repeat myself. I try to keep the languages fresh to what the story is about. And so it's always evolving.